Hello, welcome back to another science stream. Let's go. Hello, George, welcome back to the stream. And guess what? This will be about developmental neurobiology, but there's something that we have to finish. It was the, let's see, it was the 12,000 subscriber celebration. Okay, here's the lore about that one. I need a chair for this. So, we recently hit 12,000 subscribers, right? Don't mind the fact that it's now 13. I did the post at the 12,000 subscriber mark. And I was like, why not celebrate by doing 1,200 jumping jacks? Okay? Why not do 1,200 jumping jacks? And it would be crazy to try and attempt all 1,200 at once, right? I was like, why not divide it into like 10 sets so you still get the same total? And guess what? We finished the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth set already. And we are going to do the 10th set right now. Okay? So far, if you just do 120 times 9, that would be 0, 18, and 10. So 1080 has been done. You see where I'm going with this? And now, the last 120 will be done right now. And there in a future stream, maybe I'll do the set number 11 because apparently we hit 13,000 while doing that one. So if we do 11, that would be 1,200 plus another 120, and that's gonna be 1,320. All right, but let's go do the 10th set first before we even think about the 11th set. Move the chair away. Move the chair away. Am I winning? In fact, the 10th set of the 1,200 jumps, we are doing it. Hopefully that's winning, I imagine. No, I gotta do the 11th set before that happens. It would be amazing though. It would be amazing. But let's go do the, what's this called? 10th set first, alright? Wait, let me just check. The heart rate monitor is monitoring the thing. And let's go. Wait, just the, there you go. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. I should have stretched before doing that, I think. But at 50, we reached 50. Here, let me just stretch, retro, active stretch. 50. Someone remember that. Type it out, pin it, sticky note. It was at 50. Okay. 50. Wah. Thank you very much. 1 second. There you go. Alright. And now on to the next one. Jump. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. 70! 70 right now. Let me write that. 70. And I'm trying, actually, a mini tidbit is I'm trying to find a stream avatars, a cool avatar for that. So hopefully we get little bouncies back, because the old one sometimes has an error. Like stream elements sometimes doesn't work for it. So yeah, I'll try a new one. But while we're waiting for that, more times. So 70. 70. 'Okay, next. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Okay, so like what I do to the last 20, I usually count in Chinese for it. What was it? Hundo, right? Okay, yeah, last 20. Hundo. Last 20. Okay. Are we ready? Whoop whoop. Hi. And go. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11、12、13、14、15、16、17、18、19、20. Finished! It's finished! Now we will on the aircon. Whoa! Okay, it is now on. AC is blasting. We finished it! Whoop whoop! Hopefully the AC blasting is not affecting the mic quality. But yeah, we did 120. Where's the clip? Where's my hair clip? It's gone, it's disappeared. Yes, but with that, 1200, I mean. Whoop whoop, 1200. Yeah, original deal. Oh, where is it? Original deal is finished. Yeah. The 11th set is just a bonus in a future one. But yeah. Clap. Whoop whoop. Where is the light stick emote? Yeah. Okay, there you go. So, we finished that one, and now we move on to the thing on the title screen, aka Developmental Neurobiology. Wow, that one was hard. 120? No, 150 heart rate. But at least we didn't reach, I think 163 was the highest before, the very first one. So that's progress, right? Moving like a little bit healthier. A tad bit. See? Wow, okay. So now we're gonna discuss developmental neurobiology, okay? So about this one, we will be discussing things like the neural tube closure and progression and all of that. So regarding this, start would be the formation of the CNS, the central nervous system. Okay? This one includes your brain and your spinal cord. That's the brain and spinal cord. Look at it. If you just look at it properly, it doesn't look like anything else. That's the brain and spinal cord. And they originate from a structure called the neural tube, and the tube should be closed properly during early development, okay? And developmental. Yeah, that's how the mental state is too. Look at that, it's an all-time low. Yeah, but and it's like fluctuating highs, up down, up down, up down. This too. Wow, it does squiggle. Yeah. So the tube should be properly closed like this. It looks like this. And you have the anterior neuropore and at the bottom as well. So let's say if you fail to close the top part, you get anencephaly. Okay? And if you fail to close the tail, you get a thing called spina bifida. I'm gonna draw it again. I'll draw it again in a proper manner. And the marker, make it a bit tinier. So this one, developmental biology. Oh, look at that! It's a bit more of a flatter terrain now. So and then CNS would be for brain, and spinal cord comes from the neural tube, and the neural tube looks like a squiggly spam. If you fail to close the top part, you get anencephaly. Fail to close the tail part. Oh, it's just one L. One L, anencephaly. Here. If you fail to close the bottom part, what do you get? Spina bifida. Bifida. And as the folds close, cells at the border, like the neural crest cells, detach and form and migrate. All the other stuff. Whoops. 1 second. And there. Okay. So you also have the transverse sections, but the most important thing is close the top part properly and you're okay. Close the bottom part properly, you're okay. You failed to close the top part, anencephaly. Failed to close the bottom part, spina bifida. Anencephaly, spina bifida. How is the brain built from the tube? Very, very good question. Now let's draw the tube again over here at the left side. This is the brain. So you have the primary vesicles. Okay, you have something like this. This is the forebrain, like the prosencephalon. Prosencephalon. This is where the cephalons are. You have the midbrain, mesencephalon, and hindbrain, rhombencephalon, Now for this, you go from prosencephalon, you get your telencephalon, and diencephalon. Midbrain, what you get? You just get mesencephalon. Plot twist though, for the hindbrain from rhomben, you get two things: meten and myelencephalon. All of them have cephalon. So prosen is how can we remember this one? Prosen, it's PMR. Prosencephalon, mesencephalon, rhombencephalon. Meanwhile, this is TD and both M's. Okay, all are M's here. Prosencephalon, telencephalon, diencephalon, mesencephalon in the middle, rhombencephalon, you get myelencephalon, and metencephalon. Okay, got it. Now, for the important things, you actually get from around here the adult derivatives. You get your, from the very top part, from your telencephalon, you get your olfactory stuff, aka sense of smell, olfactory lobes for smell, hippocampus for memory storage, cerebrum for intelligence, And then from your diencephalon, you get something for the eye, the optic vesicle, epithalamus for your pineal gland, thalamus and hypothalamus as well. Thalamus for optic and auditory, hypothalamus for your breathing, sleep, and temperature. Hypothalamus. I like hypothalamus. It seems very important. All of them looks important, but come on, breathing and sleep and temperature, I think those are really crucial. Midbrain is also this one. Temperature, motor, motivation, and emotional stuff. So midbrain emotions. Metencephalon is for cerebrum and pons. Cerebellum and pons. Cerebellum for your coordination. Pons for, it's like a bridge. It's like a fiber trap for cerebrum and cerebellum. And medulla is just for your reflex center. Yes, we are now aware that you are breathing. And hopefully you're breathing. Try to check. I think there might be something wrong if you're not breathing, but hopefully we are breathing. Yes. Lamina terminalis narrow. Closing, again, what happens if you fail to close the top part? Anencephaly. If you fail to close the bottom part, spina bifida. It's like corned beef for some reason. Corned beef. It is highly recommended that you breathe. I think that's an incredibly important thing that should be checked. It should be checked, I think. So yeah, top part, bottom part. There is something called the neuroepithelium for your neurons, neuroglia, and ependymal cells, and microglia as well. And there's like the roof plates and all that. Brainstem. Summary for that part, we have the basal cranial nerve, neuron migration, and specialized structures. Specialized structures would be your gray matter for complex nuclei. Okay. G. Spinal cord. What is it for? You have the basal. Oh, I want to draw that one. Spinal cord. Squiggle, squiggle. Spinal cord. Try to touch it right now. Your spinal cord. Vertebrae. So your spinal cord. Okay, fine. Now stick to the blue color then. You get the basal plate. Basal plate with motor neurons lining vertically. Your alar plate would be dorsal. And then you have your brainstem, which is the opening at the fourth ventricle. Okay. But just the main focus is the top part and the bottom part. For the developmental stuff of the lateral and choroid plexus, it looks like this. Choroid plexus. I want to draw that. That one. This. Oh, never mind. It looks weird. But essentially, the choroid plexus would have the lateral ventricle and third ventricle near it. And if you just search some pictures of it, it would be a bit more clear. Neural tube differentiation, there's something we need to note, and they are the Hox genes. The Hox genes being important genes, especially for the developing the axis, the apico-caudal axis. Apico-caudal axis. And that would determine the segmental identity from your head to tail axis. Apico-caudal, head to tail. Like takeaway would just be Hox genes. And for your transcription factors, proteins that bind DNA and control gene expressions would be your transcription factors. But we've noted that earlier. Embryo, we have that one in the notes. Okay. There's also something called the M2 and PAC6. M2 would be for posterior, PAC6 is anterior. Patterns of neuron. No, not that one. Take note, human brain. Yes. I think that one is just I'll double check, but there's a chance that might just be because of its creator, no, finder, Hawk's genes. That is, yep, it's Homeo Box genes. So I don't think it's an acronym. It's more of just a shortcut of the full word, which is this one. Homeo Box genes. Where's my marker? Oh, I was using the back part. Homeo Box genes. And they are genes for the development. Development. Yes, good question. Keep that up. It helps me think as well. Now for... Oh, remember about the thing, the dendrites and axons? Dendrites. There's a line called dendrites go up, axons go down. And that would be because dendrites... Let me see. Just for the direction. Dendrites. Dendrites extend toward the PL surface. Not sure what that is. But axons go towards the white matter. I wanna double check. I don't think I have it in the notes. The difference between gray matter and white matter. I think that's important. So gray matter, gray/gray, would be rich in neurons and carrying like thinking and learning, while white matter would be for myelinated axons. Myelinated, so more of the transmitting signals part. Transmitting signals. Remember in the stream earlier where you have your like neuron that looks like kind of like this, and then at the end it would look like this. This is your myelin sheath, because to make the signal go jump quicker, you need the myelin sheath. And I think ALS and myelin, I'll double check right now, myelin sheath. So it has, while ALS is for motor neurons normally, it also affects the myelin sheath. For example, it can cause the myelin sheath to harden or become damaged, and that's why it can't deliver the signals properly. So that's why. And I think that was that the ice bucket challenge or something. Yeah, before in the golden days of the internet. Yes, dendrites go up, axons go down, white matter. And there's also the mouse whisker, but that's fine. So, question, why do we have a big brain? That's not a meme question. Serious question, why do we have a big brain? Because that question is important. Because, one moment. Here you go. Because a fly brain, it's tiny. Fly. Mouse brain is a bit bigger. But for humans, it's like this. So why do we have a big brain? A major reason for that is the regulated expansion of your neural stem. And dividing before differentiating is a crucial part of it, because you need more neurons. Increased neuron output is the main reason. Increased neuron output. And that one just produces a larger cortical plate with more neurons and connections, okay? And this expansion would help you learn more languages, can plan better, learn more, and also social behavior. So that's why you need it, all right? You need a big brain. Keep it, like the brain that you have hopefully is big enough. Yeah, in a non-meme way. Literally, that's why humans have a big brain, so that we can fit more stuff. Voila. Now for oh, there is a thing about the fatty acid synthesis. Let's see. Erase. Here. Some people make... Oh, that is true. Very nice. Oh, this is funny. I didn't realize that the tracking would capture that part. The nodding. That's funny. The technology is amazing. Okay, anyway, for the increased fatty acid synthesis, it's a genetic driver of brain expansion, domain expansion, yoikitekai, brain expansion. And that you boost the fatty acid synthesis in your basal radial cells, and that increases the proliferation of your BRGs, which then leads to more upper layer neurons and just a thicker cortex. And then you also have a differentiation of your peripheral nervous system. Plot twist, one moment. For myelin sheath, who makes it? Depends on if it's PNS or CNS. Who makes it if it's the PNS? It would be Schwann cells. Schwann. But CNS, oligodendrocytes. What? Right? It's oligo. I know it's oligo. Oligodendrocytes. Yas, slay. Oligodendrocytes. Let's go. Nice one. Now, axon growth. I never understood how the name says. Is DNA an acid? Okay, good. Very nice question. So, DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, right? It's deoxyribonucleic acid. I'll verify the acid part. Wait. Called acid. I don't think it's due. Okay, there you go. So I'll draw it first before I explain why it has the acid part. But it's deoxy because it doesn't have it's deoxyribose. That's the sugar it has, aka it looks like this. And then you have the base, this is the sugar, and you have your phosphates. One moment, phosphates. The C and then O, then P, O, P, O, P, and O. It has 3. Normally has 3. There you go. And then just check the location of your for OH. It's just 1. There you go. Yeah, it has 1. So regarding this, it's nucleic acid because it's coming from nucleotides, but it's called acid because of the acidic nature of the phosphates. Why is it like acidic? So it can donate protons in a solution. Can gives protons in a solution. Because if you can give H plus, if you can donate an H, that would make you an acid. Donate. So let's say that's why sometimes you would see symbols like this, like that. This is an acid because it can give away an H, while the A minus, it's called a base because it would want a base. So the flow might be something like this. So this is the acid and this is the base. Acid can give it can become like that. One moment, the acid will give away H, and that's why it becomes the A minus, and then now it will act as a base. It should have a partner, for example, like this one, B plus B. Let's say this is HB. If you look at this one carefully, this first part of the reaction, the H from HA, well, sometimes you melt there. Yeah, the H from HA became the H of the HB here. So that's why it acted as an acid. And now A minus will now act as a base here and like take the other H from the other side. Hopefully that made sense. And then the reason why sometimes in acids you melt, it's because they're like so strong. Let me see. It's more like they just it's not like they disappear or break down, but it's more of it causes your solid stuff to become liquid or some similar to that. Yeah, chemistry. This is a good one. It functions in like chemical reactions. It's very chemistry. It's a very chemistry route. Which actually, after I think maybe just a couple more, we will go back to some chemistry. Like it would be the enzymes. One of it is the enzymes. I just forgot the other one, but one of it is the enzymes lesson. Yeah, soon we will have biochemistry stuff again. Whoop whoop. So that's a really good bridge to that one. And where was I? Oh, axon growth and regeneration. Let me erase this one. I still don't know if there's like a clear all button here, but oh well. What works works. So axon growth and regeneration. That would be no, feel free to keep up the questions. It helps, especially since it's a very chemistry, biochem, ochem, molecular stuff that we need to learn how to yap that one. So thank you very much. Neuronal polarity. Neurons establish axons and dendrites during development, and the growth cone forms at the tip of your extending neuroid, which then becomes the axon. Okay? Mini check-in again. PNS versus CNS axons. Who? This one, the Schwann cells is involved here, and then this one is oligodendrocytes. Oligodendrocytes. Dun dun. Where else? We finished. Oh, what is programmed cell death? Apoptosis. Some of these are connecting already. So what happens when the neurons reach their target? The neurotrophins would inhibit apoptosis. So it depends on what the signals want to do. But sometimes you inhibit programmed cell death, sometimes you cause it. But programmed cell death is controllable. Because you can control if it happens or not. Meanwhile, necrosis is just it's just gonna die. It's just going to perish. Now you have your repairing of the spinal cord. Yes, hopefully you can. And as for the question, we actually have some questions here, like neural tube defects, like the spina bifida and anencephaly, is linked to the failure of the tube closure, right? So given how our closure is central and very bidirectional, provide an experiment to check and identify the role of a couple of genes. Okay. 1 second. So the thing we want to check is anencephaly, spina bifida, and the role of SHH and BMP. So the Sonic Hedgehog. It is Sonic Hedgehog. The Sonic Hedgehog, it promotes floor plate identity. Floor plate. While the bone morphogenic protein is dorsally expressed. It's for the roof plate. I think I have to switch these around. Again, BMP is for roof plate. BMP is for roof plate. Meanwhile, as Sonic Hedgehog is for the floor plate. Ventral. One is dorsal. So, we have to check those. Their opposing gradient maintains the neural tube polarity, and we can choose the chick embryos and perform electroporation. Alright, so we have embryos, chick embryos with a GFP, and an embryo that's unmanipulated, and then a contralateral side. Anyway, just predict the results. If you increase SHH so much, that would be expansion of the floor plate and delayed closure of it. And if you overexpress BMP, then that would be too much expansion of the roof plate and delayed closing. And then if you do both, you just have severe closing effects. So again, mini drawing. Let me just note this down really quickly before I erase it. Anencephaly is failure of closing of the top part, and then spina bifida is the bottom part. Let me see. Anencephaly, BMP. Here. Anencephaly. That's for with SHH. Dorsal roof plate. Right? Did I switch it? Nope. That's BMP. And then your spina bifida is for your Sonic Hedgehog. There's the other plate. There's the floor plate. Sonic is on the floor. Okay, floor plate, ventral. Nice. Okay. Now we did that. Cerebral cortex develops through an inside-out pattern of neuronal migration. If a student wants to test the migration, check it out. There's a song that I remember for the check it out. I don't know which one. Oh, okay. I know. I remember which one. And just design an experiment where you can check them. You have a scrambled siRNA. Somatic mosaicism? How do you say this word? Mosaicism. Mosaicism. Anyway, if you have somatic mosaicism found that affect their transcription factor binding sites during early prenatal neuronal proliferation. If it is found, then we design an experiment using brain organoids to test it. Okay, you can just test it because your M2 and PAX is for posterior and anterior. Yeah, it's weird. Mosaicism. One of those. There you go. M2 and PAX, and then you have Spock 1. Okay, that one, I want to note that down. Spock 1. Here. Spock. Where is this? Looks like Star Wars. Spock 1. It's neurally expressed and regulates the BBB. What is it? Blood-brain barrier. So, if we screw it up, how can we check if it is indeed screwed up? Well, just check your tight junctions using using a protein that's usually over there. And let's say in Spock knockout mice, that could show increased caveolae without junction defects or something. It depends on the response of it. And recombinant ones might rescue the phenotype. So if you screw up Spock 1 and then you see how there is less BBB leakage, then okay. So again, the results would support that Spock 1 suppresses blood-brain barrier leakage by inhibiting transcytosis and not using tight junctions. So just check what you need to check. All right. Spock 1, the rest is similar. Okay, there is also a question about CNS and PNS. And here, there's CNS and PNS neurons differ in their ability to regenerate after injury. That is true. CNS, let's write what we have. CNS and PNS differ in their ability to regenerate after injury. How? could you test whether the no-go, like an inhibitory myelin protein, is the primary cause of regeneration failure in the CNS? Well, if you just knock it out, for example, you could use a dorsal column crush injury model. What is that? Well, you would have a spinal cord that's injured and implant some nerve grafts on it. And then we could use no-go knockouts on a different one and check how the CNS and PNS recovers. And yeah, if you knock out no-go, then perhaps that will improve the regeneration of your CNS. Yeah, compared to the just a normal setup. Okay, so for the neuronal development, for neurons, for what's this one? Developmental neurobiology. We finished that one, and the next one is actually the skin, but this one might need a bit more time, so I'm gonna save it for next time, and perhaps this might have the 11th set for jumping jacks. Yeah. But anyway, for now, that is all. Thank you for watching. Dermatology, indeed, it is dermatology, skin development. So good clarification question. It is derma. Yeah. No come on, Sleepy. You're gonna be fine. It's all right. Okay? Anyway, see you next time. Bye.